Up on ZR Rumble, and good morning, hello, welcome to this date in history, aka TDH. I first want to dedicate this, well, actually I haven't gotten confirmation, so before I do that, this show is about what happened today throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with, what do we have in the year 461, good Sir King?
461, Saint Hilary begins his reign as Catholic Pope.
Alright. And I had forgotten to mark the year of this, but let's see, Libyanus. Okay, here it is. We have a off of main article here. Actually, hold on a second. 461. Sorry, we're not reading that one, but I do have a 578 here. So what else do we got?
578, Butts Chan smokes snake aged 15, becomes the 11th ruler of Mayan city Copan. Will go on to rule for 49 years.
Alright.
Wow. Clear up the long reading. 1274, Mongol army lands at Hakata Bay in Japan during the first invasion attempt and are defeated. A typhoon destroys most of their fleet as they withdraw.
So not only did they get defeated, but as they were going back home with their tail between their legs, they got another ass kicking from nature herself. It's like, yeah, that'll teach you, you stupid, crazy people. Like, stop invading others. So, moving on up to 1530, correct? Actually, no. Moving on up to 1493, sorry. After having seen the island of Bornquin the day prior during his second voyage to the Caribbean, Christopher Columbus went ashore, renaming it San Juan Bautista. This later was renamed again to Puerto Rico, and it was inhabited by the Taino, so at the time. Now we go to 1530 here. The Recess, the final decree of the Diet of Augsburg, was signed by Charles V and Catholic princes, reaffirming Catholic rights and principles after departure of Protestant princes. So they waited until after those guys left, and then they're like, okay, now sign it. So that's a little, underhanded right there. 1576, the Spanish Mendena expedition departed Callao, Peru, led by Alvaro de Mendena de Niara and his uncle Pedro Sarmiento de Gamboa. Explored the Pacific. They will eventually become the first Europeans to discover the Solomon Islands. All right. Moving on up, what do we got here?
Give me a moment.
Okay. Tsarevich Ivan Ivanovich died after being attacked by his father, Ivan the Terrible, 3 days prior. That's awful. Like, we spoke about this 3 days ago. So, 1619, the Dutch ship Nieuwe Hoorn exploded in the Sunda Strait near Sumatra after a fire on board reached the gunpowder, killing over 100 men. That would cause it. Moving on up to 1620, the Mayflower reached Cape Cod and explored the coast. Alright. What else do we got here? Moving on up to 1794, the United States and the Kingdom of Great Britain signed the Jay Treaty, in the latter country, which attempted to resolve some of the lingering problems left over from the American Revolutionary War. This was the U.S.'s first extradition treaty. Alright. 1805, the Lewis and Clark expedition, led by Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, reached the Pacific Ocean, becoming the first European Americans to cross the West. Cool. Really cool stuff. 2 centuries ago, 1824, a storm caused flooding in St. Petersburg, killing 10,000 people. Jeez. 1835, a ship carrying 500 armed Maori from Ngati Tama and Ngati Mutununga arrived on the Chatham Islands. Those Maori, the indigenous people of the Chatham Islands that were not killed, were enslaved. I would have rather died. Let's see here. Moving on up to 1861, the petroleum shipment, or the first petroleum shipment, specifically 1,329 barrels, from the U.S. to Europe, left Philadelphia, the United States, for London, England, on the Elizabeth Watts. All right. Moving on up, what do we got? Actually, I have a more detailed article here, so I will read this if that's cool. During the
Okay.
American Civil War, U.S. President Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address at the dedication ceremony for the military cemetery at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, beginning with 7 years ago. And I actually, if it's all right, I know it's a couple minutes long, but I want to play this entire thing here. So,
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain. That this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom. And that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
great words, incredibly relevant to today even. You know, we are going through something incredibly similar. You know, history doesn't necessarily repeat itself, but it does mirror. And great work from, what is this guy's, Mini Adler. So, yeah, go over there, go check him out, give him a like. Great job over there. Moving on up, what do we got here in 1869?
1869, Hudson Bay Company signs deed of transfer of Prince Rupert's land, 3.9 million square kilometers, to the British Crown, who then cedes it to Canada for 300,000 lira. Right? Pounds. Sorry, pounds. I get confused with the L.
That's all right.
Pounds for 1.5 million, effective 1870.
Yeah, we went over this a couple shows ago. The pounds and the lira sign are very, very similar.
Very similar.
Yeah. So, what else do we have here?
1873, James Reeves and two accomplices robbed the Watt Grayson family of 30,000 in Choctaw Nation.
What is $30,000 in 1873?
That's
ridiculous.
Hold on. $500,000.
All right. Let's see here. It says here. Well, it's just telling me $100. Okay, amounts. 30,000. Okay. 30,000. Calculate. All right. $789,160. Hey, you're not bad. Just a $250,000
so
off.
close.
So better
Man.
than anything I could guess. I gave up guessing
That's
a long time
nice.
ago.
Woo, boy.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else do we got? 1873. William Magier Tweed, also known as Boss Tweed of Tammany Hall, New York City, was convicted of defrauding the city of $6 million, getting sentenced to 12 years imprisonment. Oh my God, $6 million in 1873. Okay, well here we go again. All right, 1873.
Jeez.
3.
600 million?
6,000 million. Okay. You want to take a wild guess? By the way,
6,000. That's 6 billion. 6,000 million.
Well, no.
What is it? It was 60,000. What?
6 million, right?
6 million.
$6 million right here.
Oh, he stole $6 million.
He
So
defrauded the
yeah,
city of $6 million.
it's got to be a close to $1 billion. Got quarter. I would say 3/4.
Almost 1.5.
3/4.
Yeah. Calculates.
750,000
$6 million equals $157,832,000 today.
Wow.
Oh, I was way off.
That's still a lot of money to defraud the city.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Welcome to the show, by the way.
Thank you. Golden
Welcome
One
to
here.
the show.
Moving on up to 1879. I'm just going to keep this here just in case we're going to come back to it. The National Association of Trotting Horse Breeders determined what is a trotter.
Yeah.
To trot and all that
So
stuff.
they have a certain gallop to them.
Yeah. You already missed the Gettysburg Address earlier today. I played...
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Ah.
That's unfortunate. But,
Yeah.
what do we... Actually, we have off of main source here. 1893, the first newspaper color supplement, New York World. I have no idea what that is. It's telling me to look that up, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to skip over that. 1894, what do we have here?
1895, first mushroom appears on a stamp. China, 1 and 5 AP.
I don't know what 1 and 5 AP is, but yeah. So like a mushroom on a stamp is I think the stamp on the stamp.
I have no idea.
Because they're supposed to stamp,
Yeah.
but when it gets validated, they stamp the stamp.
That means you can't use it again.
Yeah. So I think that's called a mushroom.
Okay.
So now out there, do not look up what a mushroom stamp is. Alice educated me last year. It is not a good thing. So moving on up, 1895. What do we have here?
American inventor Frederick E. Blastill of Philadelphia patents the self-sharpening paper sheath pencil, commonly known as a China marker.
Yeah, so a pencil.
Self-sharpening, though?
Yeah, well, it sharpens as you write,
okay.
or something like that. Moving on up to 1905, the steamer Hilda sunk in the English Channel, resulting in 100 deaths by drowning.
Ooh.
Yeah. 1 year later, London was selected to host the 1908 Olympics. All right. And in 1911, New York received the first Marconi wireless transmission from Italy.
Ooh.
Wireless in 1911.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Early.
Yeah.
In the 50s, we had the internet.
Yeah.
Or our government did it, at least.
Oh, yeah. Well, the internet was a creation of the U.S. Department of Defense as the ARPANET.
ARPANET.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
ARPANET.
Off of main source here, 1911 as well, the Doom Bar in Cornwall claimed 2 ships, the Island Maine and the Angeli, the latter killing the entire crew except the captain. Yikes. So that's why it's called the Doom Bar, I guess. So we have another off of main source, 1912. During the First Balkan War, the Serbian army captured Bitola, ending the 500-century-long or 500-year Ottoman rule of Macedonia. In Macedonia, being Macedon, that's Greek. Ottomans, were the Persians before. They go back to the way BCs. Look at Leonidas in the 300. And I have a more substantial... actually, no, I don't. So go ahead. You take this, good Sir King.
1916, Samuel Goldfish, Edgar, and Archibald Sewing established Hollywood's Goldwyn Pictures. Goldfish later changes his name to Goldwyn.
Yeah, so MGM, Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
Yeah, well, that's when they combined. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's in by
But this
itself.
is when it was first being started. So we got another one in 1919. This one's an eyebrow raiser.
1919, U.S. Senate rejects the Treaty of Versailles, By a vote of 55 to 39, Congress 2 years later approves resolution ending hostilities with Germany and Austria-Hungary.
I didn't realize we rejected the Treaty of Versailles originally.
Oh yeah, because back in the day, the U.S. was not wholly controlled by the powers that completely owned Europe and Africa and so many other places. Yeah. We would eventually be, but back then, all this crap wouldn't fly. We were also opposed to the creation of Israel for the same reasons.
Well, that sure hammered Germany, which hammered them so bad they had no choice but to go into World War II.
All it did was validate Hitler, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean,
eventually,
yeah.
Unintentional, but that's what happened.
Moving on up to the 1920s, in 1923, Hungarian composer Bela Bartok's orchestral work Dance Suite premiered, celebrating the 50th anniversary of the cities of Buda and Pest uniting. That's pretty cool.
Budapest? Is that what it's saying?
Buda and Pest. Budapest. I never thought about that.
I'm asking, yeah.
Well, I don't know, but
like.
that actually it might be. If anybody can figure that out, let us know in the comments. 1923 as well, the Oklahoma State Senate ousted Governor Walton for anti-Ku Klux Klan measures. Uh-oh. Like anti-measures?
Wow.
So, you think that'd be good to be anti that. So, yeah. Welcome to the show, Alice. How are you doing today, aside from what you've already told me earlier?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Hugs for Alice. Everybody give hugs for Alice. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Moving on up to 1926, what do we got here, good Sir King?
1926, Leon Trotsky is expelled from the Politburo in the Soviet Union.
Yep. Stalin getting rid of people.
Yeah.
And we got 1933 one. This is good.
1933, women allowed to vote in Spain helps the right wing.
Yeah. And actually, I unintentionally skipped over something, but going back a year here, what do we have?
1932, Captain Thyssen demand Adolf Hitler become German Chancellor.
That's a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got a 1939 here just for you.
Oh, comic superheroes Flash as Jay Garrick and Hawken. Carl Harl first appear in Flash Comics #1, published by DC.
Detective Comics, yeah. 1939 as well, Don Lash won his 6th straight AAU cross-country 10K championship. That's impressive, 6 straight.
Yeah.
1940, first major German air raid on Birmingham, 440 bombers killed 450 people. Wow. So it's almost a 1-to-1, a bomber per person. That almost seems like a waste, So, off of main source here, 1941, during World War II, the battle between HMAS Sydney and HSK Corman raged, resulting in the two ships sinking each other off the coast of Western Australia, with a loss of 645 Australians to about 77 German seamen. So, well, they got both ships out, but the Australians seemed to lose that battle there. They lost a lot more people. 42 as well, during World War II, the Battle of Stalingrad saw Soviet Union forces under General Georgy Zhukov launch the Operation Uranus counterattacks at Stalingrad, turning the tide of the battle in the USSR's favor due to 1 million Soviet soldiers encircling the German Sixth Army. Whoops.
1 million.
And I can't think of a more fitting name, Operation Uranus, because they really gave them a fisting. 1942, Russia launched a winter offensive against the Germans along the Don Front. And I wonder if that has anything to do with coinciding with this. I'm not entirely sure. But off a main source here, 1941. Actually, this I need to copy and paste this, move this into the 1941 section here. So one moment. But Mutisa II was crowned the 35th and last Kabaka, or king of Buganda, prior to the restoration of the kingdom later in 1993. All right. What do we got here? Okay, that was that. We got that one. 44. Actually, 43 here off of main source. During the Holocaust, Nazis liquidated Janoska concentration camp in Lemberg, or Lviv, in western Ukraine, murdering at least 6,000 Jews after a failed uprising and a mass escape attempt. They tried to get out of there. That's unfortunate. What do we got here in 44?
But that was actually
1944.
Yes, well, they had taken Ukraine.
Yeah,
They had taken
yeah.
everything.
True.
So, and the concentration camps weren't just in Germany. Auschwitz is in Austria, I believe.
That's right.
So,
yeah, I believe you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead, Ken.
1944, World War II, U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt announces the sixth war loan drive aimed at selling $14 billion USD in war bonds to help pay for the war effort.
Yeah, and you can't see it, but people watching the video can. 14 with 9 zeros behind it. That is a huge number.
Yeah.
And this is the 6th time he's done this. I don't know the exact number of the other 5 times. That's a lot of money to raise.
Yeah.
So, we got another 44. Actually, no, that one, so we're not going to read that one. We have off a main source here, 46. Afghanistan, Iceland, and Sweden join the United Nations. All right.
Yeah. How did Afghanistan get in there with Iceland and Sweden? They're not geographically correct.
Well, it doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't. It's just kind of odd.
Yeah, they are kind of one of these things is not like the other thing. So
which one's the different one?
Yeah. What is this here?
1947, 200 mirror arrives at Mount Palomar Observatory, California.
200 inch, I believe.
Inch.
200 inch wide
Oh,
mirror.
mirror.
Yeah. Moving on up to 1950, U.S. General Eisenhower became the Supreme Commander of NATO Europe, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So, yeah. But, from Supreme Commander of Allied Forces in Europe to this. So he kind of, didn't change. He kind of stayed over there, and then he became president. That's pretty interesting. In 1952, the North American F-86 Sabre set world aircraft speed record at 1,124 kilometers per hour. That is a lot of kilometers per hour, but what is that, to...
Miles?
Miles, yeah. Let's look this up here. Ecosia.
About a third of that.
Kilometers per hour. Let's see here. Converts. 698.4 to, whatever, miles per hour. Okay.
Yeah.
So, let me add that in here really quick. 698.42 mph. All right. Moving on up, what else do we got here? 1952, here we go.
1952, Spain joins UNESCO.
UNESCO, I gotta look up what that fully stands for. So, United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. All right. So let me add that. Control new paste. Okay. So just yeah, there we go. 1953.
U.S. Supreme Court rules 7-2 that baseball is a sport, not a business.
Yeah, but how can they make money then? If they're not a business, then how are they making money? I think they are a business. Maybe the definition should be changed.
Yeah.
Anyway, off a main source here, 1954, Tele Monte Carlo, Europe's oldest private television channel, was launched by Prince Rainier III. It's pretty
Just to
cool.
go back to that sports thing, when they say it's a sport, not a business, that exempts them from
I know what it does.
from
And
different things that require businesses not to do.
that's why I want it to be recognized as a business, so they don't get the exemptions anymore.
That allows
I think that's why
free agents and a lot of stuff like that. Okay.
I think that's why the college people get screwed over when games make their games and use their likeness.
Yeah, like how South Park, really put it in our faces how they're slave labor essentially. In that one episode. 1955. What else do we got here?
1955, National Review publishes its first issue.
All right. 3 years later, 1958, the first 2 F-27 Fokkers Friendships were delivered on Aer Lingus. I don't know what Aer Lingus is, but let's look up Fokkers Friendships here really quick. Okay, so these planes. So, I guess they were for Aer Lingus. Maybe that's an airline or something.
I guess.
I don't know. 1959, the first episode of Jay Ward's cartoon series Rocky and His Friends, featuring Rocky J. Rocky Squirrel, or Rocket J. Rocky Squirrel, and Bullwinkle J. Moose, aired on NBC. The voice talents were June Foray, Paul Frees, and William Conrad. We were talking about this earlier today with the Wayback Machine and everything. Simon, Simon?
Mr. Peabody.
Yeah, Peabody,
Yeah, there you go.
Let's not forget those like Russian spy people, Natasha and Boris, with fearless leaders. So, 1959, Ford Motors canceled its poorly received Edsel model.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that the one that spontaneously exploded and stuff, or what happened with the Edsel?
They did. It was so ugly that it was a big bomb, and we had family friends. He invested in an Edsel dealership.
Oh God!
But they called the front of it a horse collar because of the big oval grill.
Well, let's see.
And it just bombed.
Let's see how
and of course,
bad.
Edsel was the name of Ford's son.
Huh.
See that grill just got ridiculed.
It looks weird, but
yeah,
I like it.
Oh, I'm going back in the day.
Yeah.
People going, oh my God.
Yeah, well, that was back when people had like things like standards, you know. Yeah. But I would actually.
I mean, in comparison to other vehicles of that era, yeah, it looks kind of goofy.
Yeah.
But in comparison to cars nowadays, dude, that looks.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I would drive it unironically.
And they put it in their upper end market, so that didn't help them. It came out ugly as hell. The perception was ugly as hell.
Yeah, so that's like a double whammy there. So anyway, what do we got here?
In comparison, yeah, there are better looking cars of that age. 1961, Houston Oilers quarterback George Blanda passes for 7 touchdowns in a 49-13 rout of New York Titans at Jeppesen Stadium, Houston.
Ooh, that's a lot of touchdowns there.
Yeah.
We also have
1962, Fidel Castro accepts removal of Soviet weapons.
Good, yeah. We're talking about, the Cuban Missile Crisis and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Good. Pop-Tarts. Nice.
Pop-Tart. Oh, yeah, we'll get there here in a minute.
1965, ABC Radio Weekly begins Vietnam Update Report.
Yeah. Oh. And you're just talking about them. What else do we have in 65?
Kellogg's Pop-Tart pastries created.
All right, Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yummy. Man, I haven't had a Pop-Tart in years.
Same here. And never will, as long as they're utilizing Monsanto. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're tasty.
Yeah. So is a lot of things. 66, Mad Dog Vacan beat Dick the Bruiser in Omaha to become NWA champ. I thought we already covered this, or maybe this is another, thing when they beat each other. I remember Mad Dog Vacan and Dick the Bruiser because they both are weird names.
It's got to be wrestling, right?
NWA?
I'm not sure.
I think that's boxing. National Welterweight Association or something?
Not welterweight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it boxing?
It is boxing. I know NWA
is
boxing.
But I would... Yeah.
67, the TVB was established, becoming the first wireless commercial television station in Hong Kong. All right. And then in 69, during the Apollo program, Apollo 12 astronauts Pete Conrad, and Alan Bean landed at Oceanus Procalyum, also known as the Ocean of Storms, to become the 3rd and 4th humans to walk on the moon. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Off of main source here, 1969.
And what was amazing about just to jump in?
Yeah.
You got to watch it on TV, which was unbelievable.
Yeah, well, you saw the first one on TV with Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's when it was unbelievable.
Yeah. 1969, off of main source, Association football player Pelé scored his 1,000th goal.
Yeah. Soccer.
Yeah. 70, Golden Gate Park Conservatory became a Californian state historical landmark. Cool. 1971, Disney's Fort Wilderness opened. Or Disney World's Fort Wilderness opened. Okay. Moving on up, what do we got here in 73?
1973, New York stock market takes sharpest drop in 19 years.
Ooh.
That's painful there.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
So it has to be horrendous. What else do we got? Big film here.
1975 film adaptation of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest
Ooh, that's a good movie.
based on stage adaptation of novel by Ken Kesey, directed by Milos Forman, and starring Jack Nicholson and Louise Fletcher, is released Academy Awards Best Picture 1976.
If you haven't seen that movie, you gotta see it.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
Unfortunately, though, it scared a lot of people about, there was some horrible things they were doing in those asylums, electroshock therapy and lobotomies, and all that jazz. Those aside, that just killed that entire industry. And then we really got to make asylums great again, just look at the world around you. Anyway, 1976, U.S. publishing heiress Patty Hearst was freed on a $15 million bail pending an appeal of her bank robbery conviction. So, she was, a victim turned, radical. 1976, Jaime Ornelas Camacho took office as the first president of regional government of Madeira, Portugal. So there actually was a President Camacho. What the hell? Idiocracy right there. Moving on up, 77, Libya dropped diplomatic relations with Egypt. And while that was going on, off a main source here, TAP Air Portugal Flight 425 crashed in the Madeira Islands, killing 131 people. Yep. What do we got here in 78, good Sir King?
1978, a miracle of the Meadowlands. Eagles Herman Edwards returns a fumble for a touchdown with 31 seconds to left to give Philadelphia a 1917 victory over the rival New York Giants.
That's a play.
Yeah.
Off of main source here, 79 as well. During the Iran hostage crisis, Iranian leader Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini ordered the release of 13 female and black U.S. hostages that were being held at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. All right.
I think is that when Reagan became president?
Somewhere around that time.
And then they immediately released him.
Yeah. Back to you, good Sir King.
Which one? U.S. still agrees to pay $6.3 billion for Marathon Oil.
I have no idea what that is, but yeah, if anybody wants to look that up, some of these things we don't necessarily know, but I'm trying to incite self-knowledge. Yeah.
$6.3 billion in 81. Holy cow!
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
What else do we got?
Insane. Yeah. 1983, Edmonton Oilers beat New York Devils 13-4. Wayne Gretzky calls the Devils a Mickey Mouse organization.
Mickey Mouse organization.
Uno Mas 83, another hockey one.
Was he? Never mind. 1983, Drury Curry becomes first and only Finnish player to score 5 goals in one game.
All right, so he's the best Finnish player in recorded history.
I just got to interrupt about Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
It just dawned on me. Mickey Mouse was never intended to be, but we use it as a slang bad term on a regular basis.
Well,
that's so Mickey Mouse.
Well, we also use Einstein as a slight to stupid people, and
way to go, Einstein.
And the biblical name Nimrod. Who was some kind of renowned leader or something back in the day, but now it's just an insult, and that's kind of a spit in the eye right there. 1984, the San Juancito disaster occurred, in which a series of explosions at the Pemex petroleum storage facility at San Juan Ixtaczoquitlán in Mexico City started a major fire that killed about 500 people. Ooh. And from my other source, it said 334. So I'm wondering if that was from the explosion itself, and then the others were from the resulting fire. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into that, but. 1984, New York Mets Dwight Gooden, age 20, became the youngest to be named National League Rookie of the Year. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And here we go again. Angry picture.
Unfortunately, drugs got him.
That's unfortunate. So, 1985.
There's an unfortunate picture.
Yeah. 1985, Pennzoil won a $10.53 billion judgment against Texaco in the largest civil verdict in the history of the United States of America, stemming from Texaco executing a contract to buy Getty Oil after Pennzoil entered into an unsigned, yet still binding, buyout with the Getty. I wonder if that's still the largest. That is insane.
Probably, I doubt it.
Yeah. Then 1985 as well, during the Cold War in Geneva, Geneva, U.S. President Ronald Reagan and Soviet Union General Secretary Mikhail Gorbachev met for the first time, and that scene was in the movie.
Yeah.
Off a main source, 1988, Serbian Communist representative and future Serbian and Yugoslav President Slobodan Milosevic publicly declared that Serbia was under attack from Albanian separatists in Kosovo, as well as internal treachery within Yugoslavia, and a foreign conspiracy to destroy Serbia and Yugoslavia. Wow, that's a lot of accusations flying around right there. So
it's a mess.
Yep. What do we got here? And actually, I'll take this one, and I'll let you start off in the 90s. 1989 here, U.S. beat Trinidad 1-0, qualifying for the 1990 World Soccer Cup Finals. This was the U.S.'s first qualification since 1950. Mm-hmm. Wow. Back to you, good Sir King.
1990, Greyhound flies reorganization plan so they can be traded publicly.
They filed. Yeah. So, so Greyhound going public, the bus service.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
1990, pop duo Milli Vanilli are stripped of their Grammy Award after it learned that they not sing on their award-winning Girl You Know It's True album.
You had this up just the other day, yeah. They lip-synced the whole damn thing.
Huh.
So did Ashley Simpson.
Yeah. Off a main source here, in the United Kingdom, the first national lottery draw was held. A £1 ticket gave a 1 in 14 million chance of correctly guessing the winning 6 out of 49 numbers. You know, that's why I was going off the other day about that guy who won 3 times. It doesn't matter that it's not. I don't care about the grand jackpot. Winning, big lotteries that much, something's weird. So, anyway, 1996 here. I think I might have a. I'm just going to take this one. Pardon me. During the Space Shuttle program, Columbia 21 was launched on STS-80, which would become the longest mission in the program at 17 days. On this mission, astronaut Story Musgrave became the only astronaut to fly on all 5 space shuttles.
Ooh.
Yeah. And that record will never be broken because 2 of them are gone forever.
Yeah.
So, but back to good Sir King. What do we have here?
1996, the 12.9 kilometer Confederation Bridge joining Borden-Carleton, Prince Edward Island, and Cape Jormain, New Brunswick is completed and becomes the longest bridge over ice-covered waters in the world.
Wow. That's incredible. Let's see here. What else do we got here? 97, somewhere in here. Here we go.
McCarthy. Is that McCarthy? McCauley? 1997 McCauley supplets, all 7 of them, born to Bobby and Kenny McCauley in Des Moines, Iowa. First set of septuplets to survive infancy. I remember that.
Yeah. So the Maccabi septuplets, however you pronounce that name.
That's 6.
No, that's 7.
7.
All 7 of them survived infancy. Which is the first time apparently. So, off a main source here, 1998, during the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal, the United States House of Representatives Judiciary Committee began impeachment hearings against U.S. President Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Yep. 99, the People's Republic of China launched its first Shenzhou spacecraft, Shenzhou-1. Alright, it's pretty cool. Moving on up, this is off a main source here. 2002, the Greek oil tanker Prestige split in half and sunk off the coast of Glacia, releasing over 76,000 meters, or million, or I guess 20 million U.S. gallons of oil in the largest environmental disaster in Spanish and Portuguese history. That is
nasty.
Yeah. Another Alpha main source here, 2004, the worst brawl in NBA history resulted in several players being suspended. Several players and fans were charged with assault and battery. And I actually have like a couple things here I want to play.
And they're always calling him up. Come on up here. No, come on up here. Well, they came up there.
They came up there. That's Bill Burr. You know,
Yeah.
he's talking about that whole, you know, this is this whole bit and everything. But this is the actual footage of it right here.
And Wallace right at our chest. This has potential to be serious if they don't get between. Wallace upset. Players trying to hold each other off.
I think this might be a different
Steven Jackson and see Wallace trying to be peacemakers with Jackson.
But yeah, but I have right here, you know.
That's why I go to hockey games.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why people go to NASCAR, to see the cars explode. But
I
yeah,
want
like,
to see a fight.
Yeah. But do you
I
understand
want to
what's
see
going
blood
on here?
No.
on the ice.
So what are you
Sorry,
all
go
in
ahead.
for? He's in for money laundering, and they're in for assault and battery. So, and look, assault rifle. So, anyway, moving on up. What else do we got here? 2006. Where are we? Innovative. Ooh, let me. Well, hold on a second. Innovative video game Where is it? Hold on. Here it is. You read it.
Oh, Nintendo Wii! In 2006, innovative video game console, the Nintendo Wii is released in North America by Nintendo presents Satoru Iwata.
All right. 2010, the first of 4 explosions took place at the Pike River Mine in New Zealand, causing 29 deaths in the nation's worst mining disaster since 1914. If there ever was an Alice article, this is it. It's New Zealand, it's death. The only thing it's missing is hockey. You know? Really. So, 2012, what else do we got here?
2012, Plymouth Crown Court clears 2 farmers of health and safety offenses related to giant hay bale death of Elosilis Mike Edward. What?
So he died for like a hay bale somehow. Maybe he got crushed.
Oh.
Like, you know, they don't have OSHA regulations or something. I don't know. Like, somebody died involving a hay bale. Oh, yeah. Moving on up. Yep. What else do we got?
2017, Oumuamua, first detected by scientists, 400 meters long and reddish, first known interstellar object in our solar system, thought to be possible alien origin, since thought to be slice of small planet.
I still say it's interstellar, like arc or something. You know, they're all in stasis and they're just, and it utilizes the sun as a slingshot mechanism. Like, I don't know. I believe it was, it's extraterrestrials. So yeah. Anyway, this is yours.
Hey, 2018 Rams beat Kansas City Chiefs 54-51 at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. 3rd highest scoring game in NFL history. First time 2 teams score 50 points in the same game. Patrick Mahomes, 16 touchdown passes for Kansas City. The most in Monday night NFL history.
Yep. Big stuff right there.
Yes, sir.
1 year later, Sorry, go ahead. Okay. 1 year later, 2019, as many as 106 people have died over 5 days in protests across 21 Iranian cities, according to Amnesty International. Only 12 deaths were reported by the government. Yikes.
Of course.
In 2019, as much as I hate this guy, I'm an equal opportunity, historian, so I have to give credit where credit is due. LeBron James hit 25 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists as LA Lakers beat Oklahoma City Thunder 112-107 to become the first player in NBA history to record a triple-double against all 30 franchises. He's still a piece of shit. I don't care. 2019 as well, more than 1,000 protesters were detained by police after a 3-day battle at Hong Kong Polytechnic University. As you were saying, it begins. And then, once again, I don't care about these about this group or this guy, but we also have The Weeknd released his single "Blinding Lights." That was actually a good song. This went on to become the longest charting song on Billboard's Top 100 at 90 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, as I said, it's a good song. So,
Huh?
what do we have in 2020?
Because it had a 80s new wave nostalgia sound behind it.
Yeah, that aided to it. So,
2020 inquiry finds credible evidence elite Australian troops unlawfully killed 39 Afghan civilians.
yep. I'm going to read this next one because I don't want to risk saying something on YouTube that might get us attacked. So, Austria, Austria became the first country to make the Kung Flu, aka China virus, vaccine mandatory. It was to be enforced on February 1st as it announced its 4th lockdown. You know? Stupid. Back to you, Sir King.
2021 longest partial lunar eclipse since 1440. Jeez. Lasting 3 hours, 28 minutes, and 23 seconds. Holy cow.
Dang. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Neither do I. That's why we do this show.
2021 rare original copy of the U.S. Constitution sold to Ken Griffin, head of hedge fund Citadel, for $43.2 million. World record price for a book, historical document, manuscript.
You know, I
Should
don't
be
think
in a
something
museum,
like that
man.
should be in a private collection. That should be a
No.
Yeah.
Museum. Get out of here. No,
Yeah.
you can't buy it. Get out of here.
Yeah. 2021, a U.S. jury cleared Kyle Rittenhouse at the age of 18 of murder for fatally shooting 2 people and injuring a third during racial justice protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I remember that.
Yep. Let's see
Got
here.
80 million from CNN.
2022, general elections in Malaysia produced the country's first ever hung parliament, with opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim securing the most seats. All right. And I'm reading ahead here, and you know what? I'm just going to have you read this one, and then I'm going to close this out.
2023 ICC Men's Cricket ODI World Champion Narendra Modi Stadium, Ahmedabad, India. Australia beats India by 6 wickets with 42 balls remaining for the 6th ODI triumph. Player of the match, Travis Head, Austria. Right?
Australia.
Or is that Australia?
Australia.
137, 120.
What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know.
Cricket.
I don't know. But I wanted King to have at least one more article, and I haven't tortured you yet today, so it was like a double win for me. That shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may be interested, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. And yes, King here is showing off one of his projects. I'm hoping he's going to get back into whittling here.
Wait a minute. He whittled that?
Yeah, he
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I know. I told you.
Are you kidding me?
I told you he was doing some stuff.
Yeah, but you didn't tell me it was good. Look at that.
Of course it's good. He's a king. But yeah, so much history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion. Please check our sources for more. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day, or at least try to, at 11 in the morning Pacific time, 12 noon Mountain. Oh, what time is it Central?
1.
And I would ask Alice what time it.
It's 2 p.m. Eastern time.
All right. We do have other shows, from history to news, movie reactions and reviews, gaming, videos and memes, Omni Kitchen, and everything else in between on Talk Show. Check the underbar. For all of you and all of us, I'm A.O. Xander.
King's Refuge.
Golden Loon wants to give a shout out to Alice.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. And Alice, did you get my my request?
Yes, I did. And yes, you can.
Okay, and I want to say that this episode is dedicated to Alice's mom. May she rest in peace. Let us all give her a prayer. You know, and I would do a moment of silence, but it's at the end of the show, so but we'll do that after the show. And of course, you are you, and until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs